What's up to the boys of Fall Championship Weekend version of the show here? Fantastic to say that, although I guess it is a little sad that are we close to ending things here, but we've got ourselves an extended, college football playoffs and everything like that, which will probably lengthen the feeling of the show and whatnot. But we are live on YouTube, live on Twitter. So, go ahead and say hi. Let us know you're here. I know this is a little bit of a different time, 6 p.m. Maybe some of you guys even at work still, but we do have a game starting in an hour. I didn't realize Jacksonville State started an hour earlier than the rest of them did. And then we got the stuff going on Friday though. But Ty, how I know you're just excited, if not probably more excited for some football action today.
Yeah, I am. It's bittersweet. It's that time of the year where you realize, it's almost over. And in about a month, I'll be sitting being like, man, I can't wait for football, and then we'll dive into the spring league, the United Football League, and that'll, feed the monster a little bit. But it's sad. Another year has come and gone. But that's what makes football so great is that it's not all year long. You get 4 or 5 months of it, and it's the greatest 4 or 5 months of the year. Love
it
football.
Really is. Yeah, it's one of those like you don't. Yeah, you're right. You don't know what you got till it's gone, kind of thing.
Yeah. Just I just like love football like so much, and I just like really don't know like what I'm gonna do with myself like without these like weeks with you and stuff, and I just like love football, man.
Yeah, the football's the best. All right. Well, we got Ty crying on camera there, but anyway, fun stuff. It is too short of a season though, for real. And luckily we do have the spring league. There was 2 spring leagues before, and we're down to just 1 now, so that kind of does kind of move things around or whatever. So, anyhow, like I said, say hi in the chat here. Let me pull up the recap from last week. Last week, we did have that show. I don't even think I have it anymore. I think I deleted it. We had let me actually look real fast. Oh, I'd have to. Nope. I did delete it. We did the split show. We had some games on Friday because of holidays, and we had some games, on Saturday. Again, this is Saturday's results. I went 3-1. Kansas, just did not show up at all. It's man, backs against the wall. They had to get a win to move on to, get themselves bowl eligible. And they looked bad. Notre Dame was definitely sketchy until the last 5 minutes. And they had about 199 yards worth of pick sixes back to back. SMU rolled Indiana minus 29.5. They won 66-0. I think that covered 2 times over, I think, which is pretty crazy. Ty, you got yourself a money line and a couple other wins.
Yeah, the Kennesaw State, Louisiana Tech, we took that just because, Louisiana Tech can score. They were scoring like 30-some points per game. Kennesaw State was giving that up. And sure enough, they did give that up. Kennesaw State just didn't help out at all. I believe it finished at like 33. And I said, this is like a trap, it feels like, with it being at 41.5. But, you just needed Kennesaw State to just help out a little bit. And they were unable or unwilling. One of the two, it doesn't matter, didn't get us there. North Texas versus Temple. Early on felt like it had a chance, and then, just died off. And then the money lines, I was just, pretty cooked on those. But, I do feel good because when people were asking a bunch of questions regarding other plays, the Michigan one we had in there, felt good about that. I did not say that they would win on the money line. I would have never thought that in my life. But with it being at 20.5, that was a no-brainer. Said it. And it was a no-brainer the whole game, honestly, sweat-free. So, yeah. So, didn't do too hot here on the show. Discord killed it, of course. But is what it is. Do the best you can with what you got.
Speaking of the Discord, talk about it every week. We had one of the best promos actually going last week. Unfortunately, that's over. However, the link at the bottom in the description here on YouTube, if you're watching on Twitter, X, whatever you call it, up in my bio, all caps, Jort, Jort. get you that 25% off your first month. So check that out. I got a link on both sides there. Mathematically, I don't know what that comes out to, but both of us have proven to be pretty decent. We got some pretty good other guys there too, hitting first basket, first touchdown, soccer, tennis when you get back up into the good stuff here. So without further ado, though, I think we can probably we can go ahead and get into it here. We have yeah, the game does start at 7. All right. So let me pull this screen back. Let's see. I'm doing all the wrong things here. But yeah, so we got that Jacksonville State Kentucky game that does start at 7:00. We have 2 more games on today that are on 8, and then we have some games spread out pretty nicely. A couple noon tomorrow, got a 4, a 7:30, and 8, and an 8. Feels like they could have maybe taken one of those 8:00s and moved them into like an earlier slate or something like that. But let's see here. I think let's see, Ty, we each have a play actually on today's slate. So let's go ahead. Let's see. I want to start, right? Because that's the confusion. Or no, you start.
No, I usually start. Yeah. All right. So I'll start. We're going to go to Boise State UNLV. This is going to be, I think, the most fun game to watch tonight. These two teams have already played each other this year. The total was set at 64, I believe, for the last time they played. And they got to, I think, 53 or 54 points. Tonight, I think they're going to go over. Of course, obviously, I think that, right? Overs only, you know the deal. But here's why. So the total points that UNLV has scored this year is 39.2. The total points per game that Boise State on average scores is 40.2. All right. You have two teams that are capable of scoring, two teams that are capable of, running the ball both very well. I believe they're both. I know Boise is averaging almost like 6 yards per carry. And I know Boise is close to that also. So, you get UNLV's getting like 250 yards per game, and then we have Boise who's getting where's it at? 253 yards per game. So for me, this is a game that defenses might shut up. They kind of know what they want to do to each other defensively, and they've schemed up to be able to deal with this. Look, Gianti's not winning the Heisman. That was his opportunity last week to put the nail in the coffin. Guess who did that? Our guy, Travis Hunter, put the nail in the coffin. So I think that this is going to be a more focused team Boise type of play versus it's just, they're not just going to hand the ball off to Gianti all game long. I think that this is a great spot for an over at 57.5, I believe it is. Love this spot here. It's going over it. Both teams should be able to. I think this is going to be in the mid-60s, high 60s game. Overs Club members only. Know the deal. Points all day long.
If you follow me on Twitter too, I put out earlier today. I meant to retweet it actually, but if you can play player props in this game, they have the rushing special, which you guys have seen. I've hit on these, often. I used to hit more passing than I did rushing there, but plus 400, you get a rush touchdown in every quarter. You got Genti, who's got 28, rush touchdowns. You got the on the other side, UNLV, has got a mobile quarterback there as well who leads the team in rushing touchdowns, and then they got they got running backs, of course, too. So. Solid there. Ty, I forgot we actually had a play on the same, within the same game, which doesn't happen very often, but we don't have as much to choose from. So confused me for a second. But I'll say here quickly though, this really coincides with Ty. I say it all the time. If you like the dog, you like points. And boy, do I like the dog tonight. You don't normally see me like do these I'm gonna give out dog money lines or whatever, but man, I think UNLV is gonna win this game. I think UNLV could win this game. They lost by 4 in the first game. Oh, and let me just say too, I kind of forgot to get to the point I was gonna say. The winner of this game goes to the college football playoffs. Plain and simple. The committee has already said the Western Conference champion is gonna go to the playoffs. That's an incredible incentive on both sides here. Not only to really go out and win, but for this to be a close game and for us to get this 4.5. Like I said, they covered in the first game that they had. I personally think they can win outright. We have this UNLV team, this go offense. Barry Odom is a solid coach. He's been looking pretty good there as well. And I tell you what, like UNLV was the only team to really hold Genti in check. I think he may have only had one touchdown. They might have to get creative. They might have to, force some passing, everything like that. Genty's obviously minus 750 to score a touchdown, minus 130 to score 2 touchdowns. So, I mean, the guy's going to score. The guy's going to be productive. It's certainly going to help out for Ty's offense, or for Ty's over. But I think the dog covers. I think the dog probably wins. It's a bit of a downside that, this isn't a neutral site. I don't know how it's decided, to be honest. Or maybe I'm just dumb and I just don't know. But I mean, like, why some teams are at a neutral site and why teams, do get a home field advantage within their conference. So that's a bit of a downside, as it is a true away game for UNLV, a true home game for Boise. But
Smurf turf.
Yeah, UNLV, and I don't like to watch it. I really don't. I really don't like to see the blue turf. But UNLV plus 4.5, and then that coincides with what Ty's gotten on that going on with the over there. Ty, Tyler Huff, by the way, leads you into some little foreshadowing to what the next play is going to be. On the field, taped up, saying he looks mobile, says he's starting today. Reporter says he's looking good.
Perfect.
That's a good sign.
Because that was kind of the concern, right, with the next play, is because, I was prepared fully to come out here and just state that this is going to be something that you guys are going to have to look out for. Take it if you want, don't take it, doesn't matter. But the next game is in the Jacksonville State Western Kentucky game, which is tonight. I believe it's the 7:00 game, which is the game that starts in 45 minutes. I have to go with Jacksonville State here. They should have been able to clean house last week. They should have been, 2 weeks ago, whenever they played them. But, Tyler Huff goes down with an injury, and they go on to score, I think, only one more touchdown the rest of the game. And they end up losing the game outright. So Tyler Huff is a major part of this Jacksonville State offense, what they're capable of doing. Western Kentucky can score points. That's fine. Defensively, they're not that stout of a team, especially against a Jacksonville State squad. So if Tyler Huff is in tonight, like you just said, he looks like he's on the field. He's being mobile, which is something that we've been looking for all day long, but I had to choose, right? I couldn't risk taking Western Kentucky. Jacksonville State had to be the play. And if Tyler Huff didn't play, well, then we just would have dealt with it and tried to hedge or pull out of the bet if possible. But we're going to be taking Jacksonville State team total over 30.5. Now, I believe it's an alt line. I believe 31.5 is the original line, but you can get it at minus 140 on DraftKings. Look, Jacksonville State, they score an average of 35.4 points per game, and that you have to remember that is with that terrible game that they had up against Western Kentucky with Tyler Huff going down. If Huff is in, I love this. Love their team total. I believe that they find 30 here. So we're going to roll with Jacksonville State team total over 30.5.
And you get it on FanDuel, it's minus 132, so even better.
Perfect. And I think that's because that the lines have moved.
Yeah, maybe.
Like more people have taken Western Kentucky.
Yeah. Yeah, it's 3.5 right now. I don't know if that's where.
Yeah, so it was 4.5 when I gave it out, which would have caused the total to adjust.
Right. Yeah, for sure. Right on. All right. Well, we're moving into Saturday. If you're curious about the one game left over on Friday, I do think Tulane wins. I think I want to respect Army, but I think Tulane is probably the better team. But it didn't get to a point where it was something that, I felt, there were better games to bet on, if that makes sense. All right. Anyhow, Saturday we're spread out pretty good. There's just 2 games really that we're not on, on Saturday. So looking at Ty, you've actually got the early slate covered, but we'll move into, let's see. We're going to go, for me, a bit of a weird one. Man, I got my next 2 plays are both in the same game, which I kind of hate to do, but we just got limited. Oh, wait, no, we have one more play after that. I'm sorry. I'm all over the place. So we're going to say, I'm going to just kill 2 birds with 1 stone. I'll just talk for a while. 2-for-1 special here on this play here. Because I'm going to be talking about the same game. No way, no reason to jump back into the same game here. Texas versus Georgia. First half under 24.5. I know it's gross. Over it does. Might not even count as fading and over because it could still go over. I just need the first half to start out slow. First half, Texas allowing 5.2 points per game, which is actually the best team in the nation. Georgia is allowing 11.5, which is about 40th, which still has them as a pretty good defense. On the other side, Georgia's only scoring 12 points per game. I wish I could not include the Texas stat, as they actually do score the most points in the first half. However, we look at these games, and like these games versus Texas and Georgia, just these games, these Georgia games started out just ungodly slow. This has been a play that I hit on. I mean, we could go back, I don't know how many times, but Georgia first half unders was consistently hitting. I know for sure we hit it on like Georgia Auburn. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that one went under. We hit it plenty of times. Two pretty damn good defenses going against each other. We just watched Georgia struggle big time against Georgia Tech. It's like Georgia has taken quite a while to get going, and it's like they're having like second half adjustments. It's kind of getting them to like kickstart things. They're not coming out of the gate absolutely firing. You have Texas, who did lose to Georgia last time. Their offense did not look good in the beginning. I think we're in some of that similar action, in this game here. So first half under 24 and a half, which is good. It's a good key number. We got 3 touchdowns and a field goal. Feel good about it. Then the other part of this bet within this same game here is going to be Texas minus 2.5. Depending on what you do with it, if it ends up coming down or you have it on a book where the money line is something that you want to, jump on. I'm looking at FanDuel. It's minus 144. It's a little too juicy for me to want to play on the money line. Where I feel like Texas ultimately is the better team. Texas is 5-0 since they lost that game to Georgia. 4 of those wins being double digits. You look at Georgia on paper, it's 4-1, but boy, did they struggle against Georgia Tech. Boy, did they struggle against Florida. They did not look good doing it. And that's the difference. I've said it before. If you're beating bad teams or you're whatever, it's about looking good while you're doing it versus they're winning, but they look gross. They look disgusting at it. It doesn't come naturally. Then you got Beck in the media talking about how he doesn't watch football. Like he doesn't like it or something like that. Dude's not going to be an NFL quarterback. Might as well just go out there and lose this championship game while he's at it as well. So we're going to go Georgia, Texas under 24.5. And then Texas minus 2.5 as a little 2-for-1 special from me. What's up?
Yeah, Carson Beck is not a football guy.
No.
Like, even if that's true, you just don't say
pictures, by the way.
His what?
Have you seen that on Twitter?
What?
Like, it's like Carson Beck like Snapchatting like females, and it's like just a picture of him with like a line, and it's like the dumbest things that you could be putting out there on social media.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm sure you can find it, but it's just him like trying to get the ladies, and it's just the Riz is like next level. But it's like I've seen him, and people have been making fun of him about that too.
I have to go check that. I didn't. So not a football guy nor a ladies man. So
or who knows? I'm sure it works. The dude's a millionaire, I'm sure by now. So
I don't know. Jeez. All right. Anyways, we'll move on. We're going to go to Arizona State versus Iowa State. I love this Sun Devils team. The way they're playing, everything about them. They're tough. They're gritty. There's something special about this team. And I love their running back, Cam Scatabo. Let me tell you, if you got a name like Scatabo and you're a running back, there's 2 things you like to do. You like to hit the hole and you like to run people over. All right. He's low center of gravity. He's low to the ground. He's got short, thick legs. Perfect for running over any type of cyclone that runs in front of him. There's nothing like a Cam Scatabo in the world unless you're watching college football. And then that's where you look and boom, there's a beautiful Cam Scatabo right there in the wild. I love the Sun Devils team. I think this is going to be an absolute beatdown. Iowa State has been shaky all year long. Not sure, who they are. You don't really have like an identity over there for the Cyclones, in my opinion. Arizona State does. They're going to show up, they're going to punch you in the mouth, and then they're going to get on the bus and fly home. They put up 32.1 points per game. I'm not going to mess with the spread. I think they cover that no problem, but why? I don't mind laying a little bit of juice. I'm taking Arizona State, money line, Cam Scatabo. Give me 2+ touchdowns, too. I don't even know what the lines are, but I know that those legs are going to scatter their way into the end zone, no problem. Give it to me.
I like what you did there. Scatter. I
like that.
Funny. Why don't you go? Yeah, why don't you go again? Since I kind of knocked 2 off there.
Those were your last 2 plays? Okay, I'll go
No,
one
I got
more.
one more, but I normally end
Okay.
it.
Yeah, okay. Well, it wouldn't be a show. Yeah, I remember when I told you that. Congrats, you made it in because people lost. Yeah, so did we, though. It doesn't matter. My point is, look, it wouldn't be a show that I'm involved in if I didn't take us down somewhere beautiful, somewhere where it's not warm, somewhere where it's nice and cold. The sun is probably barely shining. Where steel and blue collar men and women spend their time, and that's only one place in the country, and that's in the MAC. All right, Maction is beautiful. Maction is magic, and we have Ohio versus Miami, Ohio. There's no type of place that you'll get this kind of game when you have 2 Ohios and one supposedly is from Miami, but is in Ohio, than you would in the MAC. All right, look. These 2 teams played each other earlier in the year. Miami, Ohio beat them 30-20. But when you go back and you look, you're like, wait a minute, I don't remember that game being like that. Well, it's because it wasn't. The score was 30-0 at one point, and Ohio had to fight their way back. All right, 30-20. I think even Ohio scored like multiple touchdowns within like the final like 10 minutes or 5 minutes or something like that. It doesn't matter. We're going with Miami, Ohio money line all day long. They're not going to let them back in this one. It's not going to be close. They're going to put up 30 on them quick, and then they're going to put up another 30. Not really. I'm just saying that they're not going to take their foot off this time. Give me Miami, Ohio on the money line for the beautiful MAC championship. They'll raise the trophy.
And like, what's crazy is like this could low key be like a super solid game. Like the MAC
it's going to be great.
It could be one of the best. To be honest.
No, the over is in play big time too. Like, of course, I'm going to ride the over. There's no way there's going to be a MAC championship game, and I'm not taking the over.
Right. Yeah.
No way.
For sure. All right. Going to the last one here, guys. So there's not a lot of games on right now. So normally I'm like, hey, drop questions for us, whatever. Certainly if you do have one, we cover just about all but one game for the most part. And honestly, I'm sure Ty could tell you what he feels about the Penn State game, and that Marshall, Louisiana game is not one that I'm really interested in looking at, to be completely honest. But if you do have questions, go ahead and pop it in the chat there. If you're just joining, we'll hit the recap here in a second. But last play, and speaking of getting in, because somebody lost, we got SMU and Clemson. Clemson kind of snuck the way in because Syracuse, Syracuse came through for the podcast here, came through for Clemson as well there. But I got SMU money line. Give me the Mustangs, man. I think we've been on the SMU now for about 2 weeks now, and they've been winning us money. Sometimes you spell wagon WAGON, and now you spell it SMU. I like them a lot. I just like the team a lot, to be honest. Clemson's just lucky to be here. Honestly, SMU earned it. SMU's here. They have only played 2 ranked teams. They went 1-1. Against ranked teams this year. They've lost 2 out of their last 5 games. I'm sorry, they've only won 2 of their last 5 games, I think is what I meant to say there. And one of those wins was against Citadel, an FCS team very late in the season too, I might add you. Normally you get that game in the beginning of the season. SMU's playing fantastic. Jennings looking fantastic. They looked great against ranked Pitt. Pitt, was a powerhouse, type offense, but looked really good in that game. Clemson's run defense, not all that great. SMU's run offense is pretty good. If that fails, they've got a pretty good pass offense as well. Not to mention they have a pretty mobile quarterback in Jennings as well. SMU's defense, much better than Clemson. Rush defense, fantastic. Pass defense is certainly good enough. Man, this feels like a game where you take SMU money line, and at the end of it, you're like, man, I should have hammered, because it's 21-0 at halftime or something like that. I feel like SMU really could kill Clemson in this game. We'll certainly see what happens, but this feels like you could do take it to -6.5 and feel comfortable with some plus money if you're trying to do a little bit of a lotto or something like that. I feel SMU looks pretty good in this game, to be honest. So SMU money line.
I got dogs. I got dogs.
Yeah, well, I was gonna say, you got an opinion on Penn State, or is that a dog?
Yeah, I mean, I got dogs.
Okay, let's hear him.
It's UNLV money line.
Okay,
Is then
perfect.
going
I'm
to
right there with
be Marshall money line. And this one is just, clear and obvious. See, and no,
you.
okay. So
We hear you,
I'm
so
not,
you're right.
yeah, no. So I'm not going to
We
do it
need to go
because
back and look. Is it always like 25 minutes in?
yeah, it's got
Like
to be, it's something like that.
That's whatever. You're
Um,
all right. You're back.
all right. Well, I was going to say Penn State money line, but, the world has other
The
plans,
lights
so they just
turned
shut
off.
my camera off. Look, I don't know if Penn State can win this game or if they can't. Don't know. Ben Gabriel, are you related to Dylan? Is that why you're like all over the Ducks right now? Maybe this is Dylan that's in here. I'd be
Right. His
I'd be like,
burner.
yeah, I'd be like, bro, send me something, dude. All on you, man. Been a fan since UCF. But no, I don't know if Penn State can win this game if they can't. Everything in me tells me that they can't. But James Franklin, this is like the one big game he always wins. Is the Big Ten championship when he does go? I don't know. I'll probably just stay off of it, honestly. But Warren Aller, 2024 for president. As you can see here, rocking this one. Yeah, we probably lose. I don't know. I feel like I wish we weren't playing in this game. We have a perfect setup. We could be playing Arizona State first round, Boise the next round. I don't want to play Tennessee. I don't want to play Ohio State. I don't want to play any of these teams that are just going to kick the shit out of us first round. So we'll see what happens. But UNLV, Marshall are the two teams I like. Money line.
Yeah, I like UNLV. If you missed that, big fan. All right, recap.
Mm-hmm.
Because we got a game that starts in 30 minutes. Ties on that game over there. I'll mention it in a second. But we want to get in and out, be able to get those bets going for those people that are looking at putting in parlays or anything like that. Evan, yeah. Seems like pretty good odds, to be honest. That seems like pretty good odds, minus 118. Because I do think Tulane wins. And then UNLV, if we're thinking is going to win outright, plus 14.5 is going to be pretty safe. Anyhow, I got UNLV plus 4.5. I do like them on the money line there as well. SMU money line, and then a 2-for-1 special with the SEC championship. Georgia, Texas under 24.5 in the first half. Pretty key number there. If you only have 23.5, I mean, it's fine. But I mean, if you can buy it,
you gotta buy it up.
I would certainly want that 24.5.
Have to buy it up.
And then Texas minus 2.5 then in that same game, getting it done against Georgia.
Yeah. So the bracket, I believe, will drop Tuesday night. Monday, I believe it's Tuesday night. And that will be the official bracket. ESPN milks this thing for everything it has. Every week, do a 1-hour show when they know that it means absolutely nothing because chaos will ensue the next week. That's why everyone's making a big deal about this bracket right now. Sure, it's great to see where you're at, but it's all going to change. There's a lot of games that are going to influence what happens in the bracket that are being played today and tomorrow. So means nothing unless you're a team that, doesn't have to play for a conference championship, yet is still somehow in, which is seem to be a few of you in here. Yeah.
I was going to say something.
Interesting how that works.
Bad about Notre Dame.
Yeah, who said I was talking about Notre Dame? Could be talking about, see, Quan thinks I'm talking about the Vols. Everybody thinks about it. Hey, listen, we play to win around here. That's what we do over here at Penn State. We play to win. Championships matter. We're not afraid to play anybody. So, anyways, I'm on UNLV, Boise State over 57.5. Jacksonville State over 30.5 team total. Remember, that is going to be contingent on Tyler Huff playing. If he plays, that play is good to go. If not, I'm already locked in, so we'll just see what happens. But do not be afraid to pull out or don't be afraid to cash out. Yeah, we know Jort knows nothing about that. He has like 15 kids. All right. Arizona State money line, Miami, Ohio money line, and then my dogs that are barking in the backyard. You got UNLV money line and Marshall money line.
There you go.
We don't know how we're gonna do the bowl games yet. I don't want this to be over. We've talked about maybe this transitioning into the NFL. This is something I look forward to doing every single week. Win, lose, doesn't matter. It's something I really enjoy doing, getting on here, talking with you guys. So I'm not going to cry again, but I hope that we can, keep this rolling.
Yeah, we'll certainly announce it. All you guys follow me on Twitter, us on Twitter at LiveJoeBets, and then Ty at Ty, the football guy. And then a lot of you guys are in the Discord and stuff. A lot of you guys are in the Discord and everything there too. So we'll certainly see it. That's where you can get your information, is following us on X, in the Discord as we announce it as well, or obviously comment section, messages or anything like that. But games are about to start. NBA is about to start. If you're watching us a recorded version tomorrow, thanks for coming in. Drop a comment. Let us know that you're here. We'll retweet this as well. Follow us on Twitter. Put something in there as well. But we appreciate you guys. Ty, you got anything else, or I think we're ready to get out of here?
I think that's it. Thank you guys for all your support.
Sounds good. We'll certainly let you guys know. But I mean, we'll in some fashion we'll be here for bowl games. We'll just kind of have to see how it is, even if it's just like, hey, look, like we're gonna go boom and bang bang, talk about them, and this game might be 5 days out or something like that because they're gonna be a little spaced out or something. But we'll certainly figure it out. But appreciate you guys, and we will see you. We'll see you guys when we see you.